Want more megapixels in your selfie camera? Here's 20. Hi, I'm Michael Josh, and you're watching Gadget Match. I'm still recovering from a flu, if you can't hear it in my voice, but we'll get through this. This is the Vivo V5, the world's first smartphone with a 20 megapixel selfie camera. Earlier this year, we were in India for the launch of its predecessor. The Vivo V3 was meant to be a solid entry-level contender, and it impressed us with its well-balanced feature set and very reasonable sub-$250 price point. Bigger and with an obvious focus on selfies, the V5 doesn't necessarily feel like the V3's successor, but it is nonetheless a solid follow-up. This is our Vivo V5 unboxing and review. Packaging is pretty straightforward, more like the packaging of the Oppo F1s than its predecessor actually, and the similarities don't end there. Like the F1s from Oppo, the new V5 is being marketed for its selfie camera, although it's got 4 megapixels more. Okay, let's get this lid off. This is the V5. We have the gold model, but it's also available in rose gold and gray, but that may vary depending on your market. Let's slide it out of the plastic so we can take a closer look. If you've seen the V3, then you'll definitely notice further refinements to the phone's design. Again, it's almost identical to the Oppo F1s, but if you look closely, on the V5, the display, frame, and back melds together more seamlessly. We love the engraved logo on the back of the phone. It's a very nice touch. Other details worth pointing out, the 20 megapixel selfie camera flanked by a front-facing flash, and a fingerprint sensor touchpad. I call it a touchpad because it isn't a button. You can tap on it to go home, but you don't feel any haptic feedback like, say, on the iPhone 7 or if you were pressing down on a real button. Unlocking the phone using your fingerprints is fast. You just tap and the phone unlocks instantly. This over here is the hybrid SIM card tray. It takes 2 SIM cards, a micro SIM and a nano SIM, or a micro SIM and a micro SD card of up to 128 gigabytes. Also in the box, a SIM ejector tool, jelly clear case, headphones, micro USB cable, and a charger. Before we move on, I want to briefly talk about screen size. The Vivo V5 has a 5.5-inch display. Its predecessor, the V3, was actually smaller. But since then, Vivo has released the 5.2-inch Y55, and now their current lineup looks like this size-wise. Y55, 5.2 inches, V5, 5.5 inches, and the yet-to-be-announced V5 Plus, most likely 5.88 inches. While we're comparing old and new models, the biggest difference, apart from its size, is its front camera. A huge jump from 8 to 20 megapixels. If selfies are important to you, we can see why this would be a big deal. While I've gotta admit, I take selfies all the time, we passed the V5 on to some selfie pros, and here is what they shot. If you're shooting in dimly lit places, there's a selfie flash for more flattering selfie photography in the dark. We tried it and it does the job. The V5 also comes with a host of beautification options so you can get all Kim Kardashian on Instagram. Its main camera is no slouch either. In tests versus the Oppo F1s and the V3 Max, we preferred the V5's photos, especially in low light situations. For the complete comparison, you can visit GadgetMatch.com. Vivo says it's given the V5 a new high-res audio chip for audiophiles who want to enjoy music with more clarity and detail. There's a caveat though. If you want the full high-res audio experience, you need a high-res audio file, not a compressed MP3, and a pair of high-res audio earphones. In our tests, using a third-party pair of high-res audio earbuds, a difference is noticeable. When using the bundled earphones, the difference is minimal. Gaming performance is adequate, not great. Games like Asphalt Extreme run without noticeable lag or stutter. Graphics aren't as sharp on the 720p display, but it's nothing to complain about. Other more graphics-intensive games like NBA 2K run best when set to lowest settings. We're kinda bummed too that Vivo went for a MediaTek processor on the V5 when it gave the V3 a Snapdragon processor. But with 4GB of RAM, you can expect apps to load quicker and stay in the background. Battery life is solid, and you should be able to get a full day's use from a single charge. Charging is reasonably fast too. With the bundled charger, we were able to get from 0 to 60% in an hour, and a full charge in just over 2. Again, it's worth noting that this device isn't as fast charging as its predecessor. The Vivo V5 runs Android Marshmallow on top of Vivo's own user interface. FunTouch OS is still one of our favorite implementations of Android. It's made to look more like Apple's iOS with no app drawer and a command center-like quick settings panel that's available via a swipe up from the bottom of the display. One cool feature is called Smart Split that opens up a second window for you when you receive a text while watching a video, so you can keep watching and reply to messages at the same time. So, is the Vivo V5 your gadget match? For selfie lovers, or if you love taking photos and are on a budget, then there probably isn't a better choice out there. But the pros for the V5 don't stop there. At just under $260, this phone offers terrific value for the price, something Oppo also achieves with the F1s. However, between the two, the V5 comes out on top with better performance across the board, a more friendly user interface, and a cleaner, more polished design. If you don't mind its now dated design, the V3 Max from earlier this year is just slightly more expensive, but it's also an option if you're looking for more power. That phone's specs punch above its price point. If you're a gamer on a budget, then we recommend you also look at other options. The Asus Zenfone 3 Max 5.5 is about the same price, a tad bit cheaper even in some markets, and has a better processor and a bigger battery. And that was our Vivo V5 unboxing and review. For more smartphone videos, make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Facebook page, and follow GadgetMatch elsewhere on social media. Plus, make it a point to visit GadgetMatch.com daily. We made it. Until the next video, I'm Michael Josh. Thanks for dropping by.